What's up, everybody? We got a bunch of Guns N' Roses news today, and I want to first give a really big shout out to Guns N' Roses Czech Republic and Slovakia on Facebook. They were nice enough to just feature my Facebook page on their Facebook page, and it was able to give me some likes, so I want to give a shout out to them. Go like them on Facebook. I've linked to their Facebook page down below. I also want to let you guys know that tomorrow morning I'm going to have something really special on my channel. It's a super rare interview with Slash from 1995 in Australia. He was in Australia with Eric Dover, and he was promoting, of course, Slash's Snake Pit, and he did a radio interview. It's about 19 minutes long or 15 minutes long. I got it from one of my subscribers, so I just want to say thank you to Peter who sent it to me. It's got a few little audio things here and there at the beginning, but it's definitely an amusing interview. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So that'll be going live on my channel tomorrow morning. And then on Friday, you guys can expect another Guns N' Roses True Story episode. I haven't really decided what I'm going to put because I've already shot like 4 or 5 of them already. So I keep switching the order in which I do them. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started with today's news. So the first piece of news we have is regarding Guns N' Roses' gig that they actually played in Melbourne, Australia. As you guys know, Guns N' Roses were actually late for the gig by about 45 minutes to an hour. And now there seems to be some stories coming out as to why Guns N' Roses was actually late to the gig. So we had heard previously that the reason they were late was because traffic was so bad. But now it's being reported that Guns N' Roses' Axl Rose refused police escort ahead of the concert, and that's what held things up. So a source told the Herald Sun in Australia that Axl Rose refused to leave his Crown Towers hotel room unless given a police escort to the concert. And it's understood the rock star took one look outside his window at the traffic below and refused to budge without police assistance. Meanwhile, his bandmates, who already were at the venue a few kilometers away, pleaded with him to make a move to the 70,000 strong crowd, growing increasingly restless. And then they actually interviewed the Victoria Police spokeswoman, Kendra Jackson. She confirmed a request for a police escort was received on the night, but it was turned down. She said a request was made and a risk assessment was conducted. The request was denied. To make matters worse, while obviously aware of the city's peak traffic snarl, when they finally took the stage, the band confused Melbourne for Sydney. So you guys have probably seen the video of Mick Bob introducing the band in the wrong city. So let's go on to our next piece of news. We also have a new set of tweets from Axl. So he tweeted out some thank yous to Japan, New Zealand, and Australia, and all of the cities they played as part of the 2017 tour. He also had an emoji-filled tweet, which I'm not really sure what he was referring to, but he also had a tweet about the Mick Bob mistake. He said, "Melbourne didn't notice our intro yesterday. Our sincere apologies. Really amazing crowd. Mick Bob feels horrible." And then we also had Slash and Duff tweet out about it as well. Give the guy a break. Mick Bob's been around for 30 years doing this stuff, and he's bound to make a mistake. So we have a new interview with Tommy Stinson, and in the interview, of course, he talked about Guns N' Roses, but the questions he was asked were a little bit different than what we typically see in his interviews. And the first question was about whether he saw Guns N' Roses reunion coming. And, he said at the beginning when he first joined the band, he didn't think there'd be a reunion. But as time went on and circumstances changed where he had to sort of drop out of the band and take care of his daughter, and then Bumblefoot leaving, and then DJ Ashba leaving, and Duff coming back, it sort of, was a catalyst for the reunion to happen. He also talked about DJ Ashba leaving the band and his thoughts on that, as well as Bumblefoot. He thought it was kind of odd the way DJ Ashba went about quitting the band, making a big grand press statement about it, considering nothing was really going on with the band. And he kind of seems to hint that DJ Ashba was very calculated in what he did, and it's sort of, he did it in a way where he'd get a lot of press for himself. And then he also touched on Bumblefoot leaving the band. If you guys remember, Bumblefoot left the band, but then he wouldn't confirm it, and he refused to talk about Guns N' Roses. And, Tommy said he found that it was quite comical. And, he said his situation was different. Everybody knew that he had to take care of his 8-year-old kid, and there really wasn't a backup plan or anything he could really do about it. And then he was also asked about whether he had any regrets being in Guns N' Roses for such a long time and only releasing one album. He did reveal, like we've seen in a lot of interviews, that Guns N' Roses recorded a lot of stuff. He said they recorded a shit ton of music. Whether it sees the light of day, he said, I couldn't even guess, but we recorded a lot of stuff with the intent that it would be staggered out. And he sort of said that Jimmy Iovine was to blame, or somebody else other than Axl. And that's why we didn't get as much material as fans would have liked. And if you guys want to read the rest of the interview, I've linked to it down below. Let's go on to our next piece of news. So we found out what Axl Rose did on his Valentine's Day. According to Del James, who tweeted out on Valentine's Day, he hung out with both Angus and Axl. And I think from what somebody said, they basically went out to dinner for the night. We also had this post from Fernando, who's Guns N' Roses manager, and it just shows like how times have changed because, you know, several years ago, Slash was considered a cancer. He was considered a really bad person. And now he actually posted this on Instagram. He said, "To this legend, your calmness and understanding has taught me more than you know," which a lot of fans reacted to on the Guns N' Roses forums, and you can only guess what they were saying. And then we also got this little snippet. This is a photo from the Guns N' Roses gig in Melbourne. You can see Slash doing a handstand, and you can see the side-by-side of him doing a handstand during the Use Your Illusion tour. And this is featured in the Dead Horse video as well as in Robert John's photographic history. And then we've also got a new photo of Slash with his new Lemmy Kilmister ring in Melbourne, Australia. And then we've also got a photo of Steven Adler with Peter Criss of the band Kiss. And you can see Steven's looking really good. This looks like it was taken January 28th by the wall graphic in the back. So it's not in the last couple of weeks, but it's in the last month or so. And then we've also got an article about LA Guns. So if you guys were ever interested about LA Guns, there's a whole article you can read about it to talk about the band's history. And you guys can go check it out. So that basically does it for today's news. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the story about Axl demanding police escort. It's not the first time this has happened. I've heard him demanding a police escort in the past. So that basically does it for today's news. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news. Follow me on Facebook at Guns N' Roses Central and on Twitter at Guns N' Roses Daily. And I just realized that Axl has a police escort in the Estranged video as well. So take care, guys.